KOAM News Now.
Right now at 5, the Joplin Health Department is taking part in National Dog Bite Prevention Week.
And we've got a calmer day out there, but much cooler as well. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming out.
Plus, an organization in the 4 states is looking for families to host exchange students for the next school year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Amber Jenkins.
Chris Warner. So we had a few showers and thunderstorms yesterday, and that cold front, the first one we had earlier this week, didn't pack the same punch temperature-wise as this one did. I don't know if you noticed, it's a lot colder out there this morning.
Yes, I was very chilly. I was hoping for another, high 70, 80-degree day.
Believe me, I'm hoping for that too. Unfortunately, the next few days are going to be relatively cold. I was going to get gas this morning. I looked at the temperature before I left, and I'm like, no.
Next time.
I'll get it tomorrow in the afternoon when it's
warmer.
It's not even going to be that much warmer, but it'll be better, and it'll be less windy, I think. Let's take a quick look outside with our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Looking pretty good. Still got a bit of a breeze out there, and we'll still see some occasional wind gusts out of the northeast, upwards of about 20 to 25 miles an hour. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, looking pretty good this morning as well. Temperature-wise, not as good as what we've been spoiled with here lately. 47 in Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh right now, and temperatures around the region, again, relatively cold, really. I mean, comparatively from where we've been, pretty cold. We got low to mid 40s in parts of southeastern Kansas. As you get a little further south, it's just a pinch warmer. We've got upper 40s and even some low 50s out there. It's just going to feel a lot better than the low 40s. There's a huge difference sometimes. You folks at home, you know what I'm talking about. There's a warm 50, there's a cool 50, and I think that 50 is going to feel a little warmer than up north. 44 when the kids get on the bus this morning, mostly cloudy skies, a bit breezy, north winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25. As we head into the afternoon, we'll have that northeast wind of 10 to 15 with occasional gusts upwards of 25, so it won't be that bad. And we'll be between partly and mostly cloudy skies and going right about 63. We're looking at highs today, not much warmer than that, right around the low to mid 60s out there. And again, partly to mostly cloudy skies as we head through the day. Believe it or not, we're actually going to clear out a bit tonight ahead of additional shower chances as we head into the weekend. And these temperatures, it's going to get even cooler if you can believe it. We'll have a full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. The Granby, Missouri School District yesterday called in a juvenile detention officer after a handgun was found at the elementary and junior high school. Superintendent Scott Charlton says a student reported seeing a weapon to administrators. Officials did an investigation and found the weapon in a backpack and unloaded pistol. The school resource officer and juvenile detention officers were called in to help. The 4th of 6 suspects in a Newton County kidnapping conspiracy is sentenced. A federal judge sentenced Amy Thomas of Webb City to 20 years in prison for kidnapping conspiracy and illegally possessing a firearm. It's a part of a kidnapping case that ended with the murder of the victim. You can read more about it on our website at koamnewsnow.com. The people of Southeast Kansas will have a new representation in Congress next year. U.S. Congressman Jake LaTurner announced yesterday he will not seek re-election. The Galena native has served in the U.S. House of Representatives for the Kansas 2nd District since 2021. He plans to finish out the remainder of his term, but will not seek to retain his seat in the fall. LaTurner and his wife have 4 young children, and the congressman says he wants to spend more time with his family. In a written statement, LaTurner says, in part, quote, "The busy schedule of serving in and running for Congress has taken a toll. The unrepeatable season of life we are in, where our kids are still young and at home, is something I want to be more present for." LaTurner also expressed optimism about our nation's future. You can read the entire statement at koamnewsnow.com. If you're ever on the go and you still want to be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store of your choice. Just search for the KOAM Plus. The Joplin Health Department is taking part in National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Officials warn any dog can bite, even the trusted pets, and the bites can come at any time. Children are the most common victims of dog bites, which can be painful and lead to germs that cause infections. The health department is stressing the crucial role of training and proper socialization can play in preventing bites.
Children get bit by dogs so much. Dogs see children not as children, but as another animal their size. That's why so many children get bit. And when you've got a dog that wants to be the alpha and a family child that's about the same size, that dog instinctively wants to be the alpha of that child. Not because it's a child, because it's of the same size.
National Dog Bite Prevention Week runs through Saturday. An organization in the 4 states is looking for families to host exchange students for the next school year. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
I've always been fascinated by the U.S. and I'm a very extrovert and outgoing person, and when I discovered what being an exchange student was, I was like, sure, that sounds awesome.
Italian student Valentino Rossi finally had the chance to see what the American way of life is all about. For a year, Aurora, Missouri has been his home.
Why did you decide to come to Missouri?
I knew that it was going to be way different from where I'm from, and that's what's good about it, because that's what makes it special. I didn't really choose Missouri, it was Missouri that chose me.
A choice that came with life-changing experiences. From practicing a new sport,
Playing basketball as a sport was my favorite thing,
to trying new food.
I was with a friend and she was like, have you ever had a corn dog? I was like, no, what even is a corn dog? And it was like, oh, we have to fix that. So we just went there and tried a corn dog, and it was pretty good.
But Rossi is not the only one learning new things.
It's also been really beneficial for my own 2 children, teenage boys who have been introduced to his culture as his family has shipped over some foods and things like that we've been able to experience. Plus, we just have great conversation about we've never been to Italy ourselves. So.
Adam Thornhill is Rossi's host dad. He says hosting an exchange student has been a great experience.
While it could be maybe uncomfortable or new in the beginning, it quickly for us became comfortable and the normal to just have another person in the house.
We definitely want to make sure that the student comes in and they just basically become part of the family.
The local coordinator for Green Heart Exchange helps connect international students and American families.
Just bringing in a stranger can be a little daunting, but knowing that you're part of a program that is there for the process, through the process, and wants it to be just as successful for you as the host family and for the student as well.
You make lifelong memories, and it's something like, it's pretty difficult to explain, but it's something that really changes you as a human, and you get to realize how the world is different and how the world is beautiful for our differences.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Host families need to provide a bed, 3 meals a day, and transportation. They also need to treat students as a family member. For more information on how to become a host family, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in your first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Farland hosts Quapaw and Hubert for 3A District Softball Tournament. We have the details. Plus, we'll see a rare newborn monkey that makes its public debut at a German zoo. And we have a cool and partly cloudy day today. We'll see what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Of Operations with Phoenix Home Care here. If you or a loved one need assistance in the home,
Well, the playoffs are here for slow pitch high school softball in Oklahoma. Fairland hosting Quapaw and Hulbert for the 3A district tournament starting early yesterday morning. First game of the day is at 10 o'clock yesterday morning. Shootout between Quapaw and Hulbert, and the Lady Wildcats come up just short. Final score 14-12. Because Quapaw loses that first game, it immediately plays another one against Fairland, and the 7th-ranked Lady Owls dominate their first district playoff game, taking down Quapaw 18-2. Each team needs to play each other once before the championship round, so the Lady Owls then beat Hulbert 15-8, which brings us to the 4th game of the day, Fairland against Hulbert once again. If the Owls win this game, they are district champions. Bottom of the first inning, Grayson Riggs crushes this pitch to straightaway center field. That's gone for a 2-run homer. Owls take the early lead. Very next batter, Caitlin Flood, tees off on this pitch to deep left field and lands on top of the batting cage beyond left field. Back-to-back home runs for the Owls. To the 5th inning, Fairland up 5-0. Flood at the plate again. This time she goes to right field for her 2nd home run of the game. That puts the Owls up 8-0. Later in the inning, McKenna Lawson hits a frozen rope into right field, and that will be an RBI. That makes it 10-0 and ends this one early. Fairland dominates its way to a district championship. Lady Owls advance to regionals. Over to Central Missouri High School baseball. Cassville is going through a very difficult stretch in its schedule right now. Wildcats just played Logan Rogersville on Monday, the #1 ranked team in Class 4. Yesterday, they played the #8 team in the state. It's an overcast day in Nevada, but the teams get ready for action as the Tigers host the Cassville Wildcats. Picking things up in the 2nd inning, Drake Ketterman drives one into left field for a hit. Graham Walker scores and Ketterman gets to second base on an RBI double. So we go to the top of the 4th. Bases are loaded for Easton Hughes and he clears them off. So he hits a ball in the gap. Everyone scores and Hughes has himself a 3-run triple. Cassville now leading 3-1. Next batter to the plate, Evan Butler hits a sharp line drive up the middle for an RBI single, and the Wildcats take a 4-1 lead. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Nevada bats start to wake up as Nevada now leads 6-4. Kellen takes the laser into center field. Caden Klump scores. Nevada stays hot in the rest of the way. Tigers win this game 15-5 and improve to 15-2 on the season. Pittsburgh State women's basketball picks up a new player for the upcoming 24-25 season. The Gorillas get a transfer from Division I Drake University. Hannah Nilgis announces on Twitter earlier this week that she is transferring to Pittsburgh State. She didn't get much playing time in the 3 years at Drake, but Nilgis scored upwards of 1,000 points in her high school career at Jefferson City. Still to come, record heat caused record high rates of health emergencies in some parts of the U.S. last year. And we got to check out that cooler forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Bad boy mowers aren't built for everyone.
Make it a Macadoodles day.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 517, coming up on 518 on this finally Friday here in the 4 states. This is a live look from our camera downtown Joplin on the Cornell Complex. Got a bit of a breeze out there still, and we'll have occasional wind gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour out there, but thankfully it won't be blowing like that all day. MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line, also looking pretty good this morning, still relatively deserted, save this particular truck turning down to the south. And the KDOT camera on 69 at Kansas Crossing, also looking pretty good as well as we get this day underway. We are much cooler out there than where we have been the last few days. We're sitting at 47 in Joplin. Does feel like 42 with a north-northeast breeze at around 10 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region, again, relatively chilly, but a good spread. Low to mid 40s for most of southeastern Kansas. As you head further south, we get mid-upper 40s and even some low 50s down into parts of northeastern Oklahoma, even into McDonald County in southwest Missouri. So it's still cool, but at least down south here a little bit warmer. As we get our day started, again, we'll still be a bit breezy through the first part of our morning. Then we'll have those occasional wind gusts through the day, and will otherwise be partly to mostly cloudy. Depending on where you are, you may even be completely clear here and there. And we'll go about 54 by 11 o'clock this morning. That is ahead of highs that are below normal to the tune of about 6 degrees or so. As we go low to mid 60s, mostly cloudy skies for the majority of us as we head through the day. today. We go through the evening. We're initially mostly cloudy, and then believe it or not, we're going to start to clear out as we go overnight tonight and go partly cloudy. Temperatures gradually falling, eventually back into the low 40s out there, so do be prepared for another very chilly evening across the area, and unfortunately, that's going to set the trend for some chilly days. Now, we head into next week. The warm weather will return. However, thunderstorm chances will return. So this is by Monday at 10 o'clock. Got some thunderstorms out to our west, and those will roll in and spend the majority of the Tuesday with us out there, with them wrapping up around the I-44 corridor by Tuesday evening. Wednesday looking pretty good. We're partly to mostly cloudy. We're going to be a little bit warmer out there, not significantly so, but warmer nonetheless. But look out to the west, and here comes another system bringing more showers and thunderstorms by Thursday, and these are going to stick with us through our day on Thursday and even into our Friday as well. And as we head into next weekend, we're keeping an eye on another potential round of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. So heading into the weekend, again, below average, some scattered showers Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be in the low 60s. We're going to warm up just a bit as we kick off the week. We've got those thunderstorm chances Tuesday. Then as we head into next weekend and the end of next week, take a look at those temperatures. We go well above average again, back into the low to mid 80s out there. But then again, we're also keeping an eye on those additional thunderstorm chances. That's checking your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
This is Scott with Windows for Less. With springtime in mind, so is spring cleaning. Easy breezy. Give us a call today to schedule your free at-home estimate. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a major price hike on cigarettes is under consideration by the city of Minneapolis. City officials say the proposed $15 minimum is a matter of public health. But as Carla Holtz reports, some smokers disagree.
At Lake Street's Uptown Smoke Shop.
How are you?
Talk about a proposed jump in the cost of tobacco products fills the air.
A lot of my customers are a daily cigarette smoker.
Manager Mohammed Hassan says there's no question a $15 minimum, what amounts to more than double the cheapest pack, will affect business.
I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to afford that.
While not affecting public or personal health.
It's more that they need that nicotine. That's going to drive people away. It's just, I don't see any good in doing that.
But pushing for positive change.
Before being a council member, I worked on public health policy.
Is exactly what's motivating Minneapolis council member Latricia Vita.
When we look at, as a state, how much we pay for tobacco-related death and illness, like there's always a time to do these kind of policies.
Vita says cutting out coupon use, raising the price and penalties for those who sell to minors, and ending the sampling room loophole that lets people smoke indoors just makes scientific sense.
Smokers will tell you when the price increases, they quit.
And while some in this hearing yesterday raised the concern about how a price hike targets communities of color, Vita says that's exactly the point.
Yeah, it is targeting them because we need people to be healthy, no matter who they are.
Vita also says this change won't hurt business.
They can't trick me with the whole, this is so bad.
But on that burning question of impacting business,
some packs are going to go even over 18.
Mohammed Hassan begs to defer, offering his take as both a manager and someone who smokes.
People are still going to buy their cigarettes, so it's not going to help them from quit smoking.
Did you know some of the fresh, frozen, and even canned non-organic fruits and vegetables you eat could contain concerning levels of pesticides? That's according to an investigation by Consumer Reports released on Thursday. The report revealed some of the highest levels of pesticides that were found in produce imported into the United States. It found a majority of highly contaminated imports were typically frozen strawberries. Imported and domestic green beans also tested high for pesticides, even samples labeled as organic. Record heat caused record high rates of health emergencies in some parts of the U.S. last year. That's according to a report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Emergencies associated with record high temperatures can include heat stroke, heat cramps, and sunburns. The CDC says during the warm season last year, Heat-related illnesses accounted for a 20% larger share of emergency department visits than they did in the past 5 previous seasons. CDC experts warn deaths and illnesses associated with heat exposure are a continuing public health concern as climate change results in longer, hotter, and more frequent episodes of extreme heat. A warning from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration about the dangerous counterfeit versions of Botox. After 19 women from 9 states reported harmful reactions following Botox injections from those who are unlicensed or untrained. Manny Gathler talks to a doctor about how to bypass counterfeit Botox.
It's one of the most common non-surgical cosmetic procedures with millions of injections every year, but officials are sounding the alarm on counterfeit versions of Botox.
The medical injectable business is very lucrative, so there's a lot of people that want to do this on the side or in their home.
The FDA says at least 19 women between the ages of 25 and 59 have reported harmful reactions in 9 states, all after receiving Botox injections from unlicensed or untrained people or in places that were not healthcare settings. Before you schedule an injection, it's important to do your research, says Dr. Craig Lehrman with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center.
Do your research on where you're going, who's doing it, and you want to know their experience in giving these products.
Lehrman says to ask questions, get referrals from people you know who have been happy with their results. Look for a center that has providers who are board certified in some area of aesthetic or cosmetic surgery, and make sure their practice is licensed.
You can also search the provider doing the injections by searching their name and going to something like Health Grades or the state's medical board to look for infractions or other issues.
When injected properly, Lehrman says patients shouldn't have problems with this procedure.
If you do your research, I would still stand by. It's a very safe procedure with very predictable outcomes.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The doctor says there are some common side effects after Botox injections like redness, infection site pain, or a mild headache. But if you have weakness, difficulty breathing, or facial paralysis, he says those are some red flags you need to see a doctor right away. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a much cooler start to the day out there ahead of some below average days in our forecast. We'll have the latest on that forecast when we come back.
See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Right now at 5:30, McDonald County students put their STEM skills to the test in a STEMapalooza event.
And we've got ourselves a much cooler start to the day and much cooler temperatures for the next several days. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Freeman Health System hosted a signing day event for 40 new graduate nurses.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:31. I'm Amber Jenkins.
I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday in the 4 states. We made it. Got the weekend right around the corner.
I'm very excited.
Oh, you're not going to be so excited.
It's not going to be warm?
It's not going to be warm, and it's going to rain a little this weekend. I wish I had better news. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ruin everybody's Friday, but if I don't tell you the truth and I say, no, yeah, the weekend's going to be great, and then it's cold and it rains, you're going to be like, that lying weatherman, I tell you. I'll get a lot of hate mail, so I got to tell you the facts, and I don't want any hate mail. So let's begin with getting you out the door. Now, we can at least do that, and at least it's going to be dry today, but it's going to be pretty chilly. MoDOT camera 30-second range line looking pretty good so far this morning. Temperatures, though, not looking as good. 47 in Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh. Our northern counties a little bit on the cooler side. We've got some low 40s out there. Iola, Yates Center, Fort Scott, Nevada, kind of following the 54 corridor. And as you head further south, it does warm up just that much maybe as we go into the upper 40s and even into some low 50s out there. Miami checking in as the warm spot right now at 51 degrees. So either way, we are considerably cooler. Keep in mind, yesterday morning, we are almost 30 degrees warmer in Yates Center and parts of southeast Kansas than where we are right now, 24 hours ago. 30 degrees warmer. This cold front meant a little more business, not so much with the showers and storms. We did get some, but we didn't get as many as we were hoping for because we do need that rain out there. But it did mean business with those temperatures. 44 when the kids get on the bus this morning. North breeze 15 to 20 with those gusts occasionally up to 25. Still occasional gusts out of the northeast to 25. Mostly to cloudy skies out there at about 63 when the bus brings them home. We're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies. Most of us will be mostly cloudy. Some of us may even briefly be clear, but either way, a very chilly day. Highs only into the low to mid 60s. As I mentioned, unfortunately, our weekend doesn't look too fantastic, but we will eventually warm up again. We'll talk about all that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. The Arvis Foundation yesterday made a donation to a local organization that helps adults with disabilities. The $5,000 gift to the Shine Foundation will allow them to purchase a second laser engraving machine. The members of the Shine program use machines to make engraved wooden items, which are then sold to benefit Shine and its mission.
This is our second laser engraver, and we use it to make all sorts of beautiful products here at Shine. Candle lids, charcuterie boards, Christmas ornaments. We can use your logo and we can brand products for you. And this is part of how we raise our funds, our fundraising for our day program here.
Shine Joplin is located at 831 Sycamore Street. Signing days are usually reserved for standout athletes, but what about standout nursing graduates? Freeman Health System yesterday hosted a signing day event for 40 new graduate nurses ready to take the next steps in their careers. This is a milestone in their path to becoming licensed nurses with Freeman. Students in McDonald County yesterday participated in the annual STEMapalooza. Kindergartens through 8th graders all came together to enjoy the world of science, technology, engineering, and math. The 3 events today were called Roller Coaster Wars, Codapalooza, and Robot Fest. One teacher says it all helps students understand the importance of teamwork.
Is crucial because without that, learning it at a young age, we're not doing them any justice to when they leave school, because wherever you work, whatever your job, you're always going to be working in a team, and those skills will go with you the rest of your life.
The event was held at McDonald County High School. Pitt State installs an AEDs and Narcan boxes to help campus safety. Students, employees, and visitors now have access to 25 Narcan boxes and 62 automated external defibrillators in the event of an emergency. They are installed in residence halls and other common areas. Officials say the life-saving devices will go a long way in improving campus safety.
We have not had a problem on campus, and that is a good thing. But if we ever do have a problem on campus and we need it, it's going to be close. And all our officers carry them on their belt or on their vest. So we're prepared to use Narcan in the event of an emergency. I'm very fortunate to say that we haven't had an emergency on campus.
Pitt State boxes and doses were provided through a grant funding in cooperation with the Crawford County Sheriff Department. KOAM's Hero Fund USA Day of Giving Telethon raised more than $8,500 yesterday to purchase life-saving equipment like turnout gear and ballistic vests for first responders. We partnered with Roper Honda for the event. Last year, the White Rock Fire Protection District received enough money to purchase a thermal imaging camera, gas detectors, and collaboration kits, something the deputy chief says they couldn't have done without Hero Fund USA.
And with that, we found this resource with Hero Fund USA, which their funds are very easy. Their forms are very easy to fill out and get. You don't have to have, you know, a whole lot of training to do it. And, you know, they're easy to fill out and that. And so when we get a grant like that, you know, it really helps out us tremendously to give our equipment that we need to our firefighters and help to protect our public too at the same time. So.
This year, the Hero Fund is attempting to raise more than $33,000 to fill requests from 7 departments across the 4 states. You can still donate online at KOAMnewsnow.com/HeroFund. That's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. The U.S. shows support for Ukraine as lawmakers move closer to voting on a funding package. Plus, tensions are surging in the Middle East as Israel launched a retaliatory strike against Iran. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
On KOAM TV is sponsored by Aaron Sachs & Associates, proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Topping World Watch, a rare newborn monkey makes its public debut at a German zoo. The bearded monkey and his proud mom are seen eating a snack and roaming around their enclosure on Thursday. Zoo officials say the 5-week-old monkey is developing well and appears to be enjoying all the attention. A zookeeper says his big sister and father spent some time with their new addition as well. Bearded monkeys are considered one of the rarest primate species on Earth and are threatened to be mostly deforestation. 9 people are now facing charges following what Canadian officials say is the biggest gold theft in Canadian history. More than $14 million worth of gold was stolen from Toronto's Pearson International Airport in 2023. 2 Air Canada workers were included in the arrest following the transport of the gold on an Air Canada flight last April. Police say the gold was later melted to buy illegal weapons. A severe drought is causing a major energy crisis in southern Ecuador. Officials say the drought has affected production at the hydroelectric dams, which are Ecuador's main source of electricity, including the Mazar Dam, which has low water levels. The Ecuadorian government declared an energy emergency Tuesday and suspended the working day for Thursday and Friday. They also ordered a new increase in energy rationing of 8 hours daily. A climate expert said the drought was brought on by the El Nino climate phenomenon and warned the dangers of a single source of energy supply for countries. The U.S. shows support for Ukraine as lawmakers move closer to voting on a funding package. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer met with Ukrainian Prime Minister in Washington on Thursday and assured him that the Senate would act as soon as this weekend to help the war-torn country. House Republicans put forth a $61 billion aid package of bills that would send the U.S. aid to Ukraine and Israel. Tensions are surging in the Middle East as a U.S. government source confirms Israel launched a retaliatory strike against Iran. Correspondent reporter Connor Hansen has the latest on the developing story.
U.S. officials say Israel launched an early morning strike against Iran. This triggers new fears the conflict between the two countries could expand throughout the Middle East. A U.S. government source telling Fox News Israel conducted a limited strike on the Iranian province of Isfahan Friday morning. It's seen as a direct retaliation after Iran's massive attack on Israel last Sunday with the firing of more than 300 drones and missiles. Iran says that attack was in response to a deadly Israeli airstrike killing top military officials at its consulate in Syria.
Israel didn't take that lightly.
U.S. government sources say Friday's Israeli strike did not use manned aircraft. The U.S. says it had no involvement, but Israeli officials notified the U.S. beforehand.
This could be the tit for tat. Let's put this thing to bed. Let's not get nuclear here. Let's calm this thing down. Everybody got their shots in.
Isfahan, where the strike is being reported, is home to a major Iranian military base and contains facilities associated with the country's nuclear program. In recent days, U.S. officials and other Israeli allies recommended the nation practice restraint and not escalate the war.
We will make our own decisions, and the state of Israel will do all that is needed to defend itself.
Analysts previously thought any retaliation would take place after the Jewish holiday of Passover, which begins next week. The White House and National Security Council not yet commenting on the strike.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Drop off your old car and trust to customers.
We've got you covered forever at Roper Honda.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:46 on this finally Friday here in the 4 states, and we've got some clouds out there. This is our camera, of course, on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, but you can see a little bit of clearing out there, and that's how it's going to be today. We're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, but remember, we do have a very large coverage area, and so some of you may actually be mostly clear, if not clear for a little bit today, but clouds will be in the forecast for most of us. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line also looking pretty good as folks get their day underway. And not looking too bad from the KDOT camera at 69 in Kansas Crossing out there. Another pretty decent day. Unfortunately, though, our temperatures below average, and they're going to stay that way for the next few days across the area. 47 in Joplin right now. North-northeast breeze at 10 makes it feel like it is 42 degrees out there, so a bit of a chilly start. And the thing is keep in mind, so yesterday morning, we mentioned that folks like Yates Center, Neodesha, Chanute, Iola, you were all hitting your highs about this time yesterday morning in the low 70s. You were in the low 70s 24 hours ago. It is almost 30 degrees colder out there this morning than what it was yesterday. Up to the north, low 40s out there, especially along the Highway 54 corridor. And as you start to sink a little further south, you start to get the mid 40s and even some low 50s. And Miami checking in right now, at least, as the warm spot sitting at 51 degrees. We'll have some wind gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour out of the north initially, and they'll switch out of the northeast as we go through the morning. And then there'll be occasional wind gusts up to 25. And we'll be partly to mostly cloudy. Yeah, only about 54 by 11 o'clock this morning. The cloud cover will not help with our warming whatsoever out there. Again, as most of us are going to be partly to mostly cloudy. Now, some of you get a little more sunshine, may go just a pinch warmer than that, but on the average, we're looking at highs right around the low to mid 60s across the area. Heading into this evening, we continue with those partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area. Temperatures falling through the 50s. And overnight, we're going to actually clear out a little bit. Partly cloudy skies, maybe even some more mostly clear skies out there, back down into the low 40s. However, we're going to cloud back up as we head into the weekend. Shower chances this weekend as well. We want to talk about next week, too. We have thunderstorm chances as we go into next week. So we're talking next Monday night, just outside of our area, but they'll start to roll in by Tuesday morning. We'll have showers and thunderstorms periodically through Tuesday, ending from northwest to southeast across the area. So by Tuesday evening, here they are along the I-44 corridor on their way out. Our Wednesday, not looking too bad, still not too terribly warm, but we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then as we head into our Thursday, another round of showers and thunderstorms, and these ones are going to stick with us as we head through the end of next week and into next weekend as well. And some of these, especially as we head toward the weekend, could be strong, potentially severe. So yet another system we got to keep an eye on. Low 60s, even upper 50s this weekend, so well below normal, mostly cloudy, scattered showers. Thunderstorm chances Tuesday. We'll start to warm up with those storms next week into the 80s, but then we've also got to keep an eye on those storms next week as well. That is a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Today's news.
Make new smiles affordable for everyone.
Go ahead and smile.
An ill-timed truck backfired, sent a spooked circus elephant on a trippy trawl through a Montana town. Jeremy Rolfe has today's Take a Look at This.
We've got a cavalcade of crazy caught-on-cam whatnot today, starting with this big Butte's big day out in Butte, Montana, that is. That was the scene of this circus elephant getting loose and taking a surreal stroll through town. The city's Civic Center said it was preparing to host the animal named Viola as part of a circus event when she got spooked by a truck backfire and took off. Viola didn't get too far and was flanked by a handler the entire time, and they were able to safely corral and return her, but not before she reportedly made her mark on some lucky homeowner's lawn. Another trunk of the tree variety made headlines in Virginia when a surveillance camera captured a pair of dads' relaxing backyard chill interrupted by a massive falling tree. The pair were preparing to roast s'mores with their kids when they heard some loud crackling noises and were able to scream clear just as the serene scene became anything but. Thankfully, everyone is okay, minus the tree, but these two dads are still marveling at their timely stroke of luck.
So many things went right, and things could have gone so wrong.
Finally, take a look at a brash biker who's lucky he didn't have a big fall when he was caught on camera doing over 100 miles per hour whilst standing up on his motorcycle. It may be an impressive stunt, but police officers were not impressed at all. Instead, they pulled him over and placed him under arrest for reckless driving. Look, I'm sure he's a stand-up guy, but he needs to stay seated when he's on the road. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Oh my goodness, did you see that man standing on his motorbike? Like, I've seen like videos of that on social media, and it just always gives me anxiety because you never know. That's asphalt right there. Like, when you fall going that fast, it's not going to be a pretty story, but at least he was safe, or, you know, he didn't get hurt, as we know. Well, we'll be right back after this.
/birthday.
A group of people in North Carolina was caught on camera pulling 2 bear cubs from a tree, all for a few photos. Residents near an apartment complex in Macomb County recorded the group in the act. In the video, you can see the people pulling the young bears from the tree branches and holding them to take some selfies. One of the women drops one of the cubs who is trying to go back over the fence. Wildlife officials were called to assist, and they found only one of the 2 cubs seen in the footage. The responder who assisted the baby bear says she believes it was a traumatic experience. Thankfully, the bear is okay and will be released back in the wild soon. Taylor Swift fans just cannot calm down this week, but we don't blame them. The singer is releasing her 11th studio album today. Swift shared a teaser of Tortured Poets Department on social media. Fans know the clip is probably riddled with Easter eggs. It shows a peek inside a fictionary literary society and a quote-unquote timetable of release schedule. The calendar reveals a music video is set to drop at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. It appears something else might be planned for Saturday. The quote-unquote mastermind has also been posting snippets of lyrics ahead of the release. Fans believe the new album will explore her heartbreak after splitting with the actor Joe Alwyn.
And you're going to have some heartbreak splitting with those warm temperatures we've had the last few days, because it's going to be downright chilly the next few days across the area. Partly to mostly cloudy skies through the morning, 54. We'll have occasional northeast wind gusts upwards of about 25 miles an hour. Highs today below normal. We should be about 70. We're going to be low to mid 60s out there. And again, partly to mostly cloudy skies. As we head through the evening, holding on to that same trend with the partly to mostly cloudy skies and a bit clearing overnight, and we'll fall back into the low 40s, so another below average night out there for us. And even though we clear out tomorrow, we're going to start to, or tonight we're going to start to cloud back up. We'll have scattered showers Saturday and Sunday, and temperatures even further below average this weekend as we go back in the upper 50s and low 60s. A little warmer on Monday. Thunderstorm chances on Tuesday. Nice day Wednesday. More thunderstorm chances as we head toward the end of next week. Much warmer as well as we go into the 80s, but some of those storms by next weekend could be strong, potentially severe, so yet another system we'll have to keep an eye on. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Get ready to enjoy the final year of the Joplin Memorial Run. Sign up today.